Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the 3rd of December, 2016. And I was looking for a couple of different stories this morning, mainly the one on the Australia thunderstorm asthma deal. And I can't find any real definitive facts involving this, other than it looks like a geoengineering test flight to see how many people they would get sick and how they could get away with it. But at any rate, what I did come across was what appears to be the newest thing where police officers are no longer shooting unarmed African American males with their hands up. They begin to start shooting themselves. This video right here is a video of a female police officer who's been called to the scene where a pit bull allegedly has attacked a homeless man. So let's watch this. Now, we've already heard her say she's going to effing shoot it. So we know what her intentions are. So clearly she already has her weapon drawn, I would imagine.
Yankee Nancy 68 Lima.
And there's her call sign. The police and the military are heavily into nomenclature. But let's continue.
Hello?
Okay, so there you go. You're responding to the scene where someone's already been attacked by a pit bull that is clearly already pissed off. So what do? You whistle for it. Now, wouldn't you already be prepared after whistling for the dog to respond? The dog that's already allegedly attacked a homeless man? You'd think so, but let's watch.
Better stay there, brother. Hello, Virginia. Fucking shot my finger off.
Huh?
I just shot my finger.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, so from what I've just seen, that wasn't a pit bull terrier. Pit bulls don't have big fluffy tails like that. I know that wasn't as fluffy as a husky, but pit bulls have long whip-like tails, which that was not. The second thing I noticed is the police no longer have to act in a professional manner. Imagine if you went and ordered well, I'm not going to say a pizza, a sandwich from a sandwich shop, and they went, "What the F would you like on it? Here's your effing sandwich." You'd think that people whose jobs were to walk around with a gun and diffuse situations would act a little more professional like they did not just 20 years ago. Now, the point of this video isn't to show you that this woman shouldn't be a police officer and probably after this no longer will be a police officer, nor should she be an animal trainer. What I discovered was police officers shooting themselves, as well as everyone else, is quite common.
Goddamn right, you say, get out! Back up!
Okay, it hurts.
Back up!
I don't want to. I don't want to look at it.
And that's the best way to treat a wound. Don't look at it. Pretend it didn't happen. Now let's look at the other police officers shooting themselves I found, which should be terrifying. Again, if you followed my channel for any length of time, you know that I come from a police officer family. I've been in relationships with female detectives, so forth and so on. So I have nothing against the police officers. What I do have against them is if I hired a plumber and every time he came to my house he accidentally set it on fire, perhaps he shouldn't be a plumber. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards here. Check out this video of another police officer simply shooting himself. Okay, here we can clearly see a police officer in uniform. Are they looking for a little boy that fell down a well? Is somebody in danger? No. He's simply shopping for another weapon. When you're a police officer, weapons are part of your tools that you should be an expert in using. But let's see how this goes. He appears to be shopping for a new gun. This appears to be the clerk as he's on this side of the counter. Let's see how this one goes. Apparently, he sees one he likes. The clerk is fishing it out from inside the case. I don't know what state this is in. And it's got the price tag hanging on it. And he holds it there for a while. And the officer takes it. Doesn't do a safety check at all. Now, if you've been around weapons as long as I have, as long as most people that understand what a firearm does, the first thing you do is you drop the magazine and you check the chamber to make sure there isn't a round in it. Let's see if the officer does that. The police officer who's in charge of pointing these things at people for a living. Nope, not yet. Not yet. And not yet. He's pointing it around, and there he goes. He puts his hand in front of it. Yep, let's see what happens. Nope, he can't seem to open it, so let me put my hand in front. Oh, I just shot myself. So clearly he couldn't figure out how to clear the weapon to make sure it wasn't safe. He pointed at this guy. He pointed at all these people unknowingly, and apparently they sell fully loaded handguns. And according to the article, the person behind the counter told him that it was in fact loaded. And the cop was too inept to understand how to clear the weapon and shot himself. Ouch! That's going to leave a mark, literally. Now, can you imagine this guy in a stressful situation wearing this badge, pointing a gun that clearly has no clue how a firearm works, pointing it at you or one of your loved ones? Sounds ridiculous, but it's the world we live in right now. You think that's ridiculous? Let's check out the next one, because of course there's more. Okay, so here we have a scene of what appears to be a husband and wife entering an elevator. I mean, literally, what could go wrong? Is a masked burglar going to run in here and attack them? No. No need to. They get in the elevators. He seems to be carrying a cake of some sort. And I guess he says, hey, now that we're in the elevator, why don't I pull out my weapon and look at it real quick? Because apparently maybe it has a digital clock on it and he needed to check the time. Or maybe he just wanted to impress his female friend. We'll never know, actually. So let's see what happens. He's pulled his gun out for no particular reason in an elevator on video. And he can't seem to find his holster. And bang! Bang! Yep, just shot himself. Or could have shot her. Or could have shot somebody walking in the elevator. And the gun still lays there unchecked. This woman's picking up a cell phone and the elevator's closing. She didn't have the presence of mind to stop the elevator from closing again. And for whatever reason, this police officer, because yes, he is a police officer, has shot himself because he decided to pull his weapon out for absolutely no reason whatsoever and shoot himself. Hey, we're in an elevator. Maybe I should pull out my gat, take a look at it, and then, where is that? Where is that thing? Oh my God, I just shot myself. And of course, now remember, I'm Richie from Boston. I have been shot on 4 separate occasions. And yes, it does hurt. But you know what I would still do? Especially if I were a police officer? I would tell her, secure the weapon and please don't shoot me again. Yet that's not what happens. He sits there and the gun sits there, and then she gets on the phone to take a live stream and send it on Facebook or whatever. I don't know. Doesn't stop the elevator from closing. She looks around, picks up a cell phone, I guess, and takes a picture of him and sends it to all her friends on Twitter. Because this somehow ended up on YouTube. Absolutely unbelievable, the world we live in. And this video is only of police officers shooting themselves. It's not police officers shooting everyone else, because that video would take literally years to make, because that's a never-ending activity that seems to keep going and going and going. But these are now the police officers. These are now law enforcement in charge of carrying weapons around, and we're supposed to shut up, do what we say, or they'll point them at us, and hopefully when they point it at us, they'll shoot themselves by accident because that seems to be the new trend, or most likely they'll probably shoot us and then that'll be the end of it. At any rate, I'm still looking into the Australia magical thunderstorm that turned normal everyday weeds into a poison that killed everybody, but I can't find anything definitive on it other than innuendo. I'm Richie from Boston. If you like this video, share it, like it, and subscribe, because YouTube doesn't share our videos anymore unless, of course, we're planted here by the mainstream media and they want our videos to go viral. At any rate, I'm out.